welcome to the Maglio Gymnasium for tonight's matchup of your St. Joseph Falcons facing off against the South Brunswick Vikings. It's a quick start for both teams. Both teams already 2-2 score. Ethan Simmon got the tough bucket for the Falcons, and so will Darren Tuck to make it a 4-2 lead for the Falcons in the first minute of play. St. Joe's coming off a tough loss to St. Benedict's Prep, 88-54. They lost that game on Monday. St. Benedict's Prep nationally ranked. St. Joe's really could not have expected a win going into that, but maybe not have hoped for a loss that bad. It's going to be a missed shot there from Brian Rawls, and Amari Campbell is going to take it up for St. Joe's here. Campbell into Williams. Williams pass gets stripped. Shameen Davis on the other end lobs the pass over the head of Downs and back out of bounds, St. Joe's ball. So despite the 34-point loss on Monday, Ethan Simmon had an absolute day. He's the leading scorer with 20 points per game on the year, but he had 27 points against a nationally ranked team and was mostly guarded by a player with offers from teams like DePaul and St. John's. So definitely impressive from Ethan Simmon, although his team obviously could not get the victory. It's going to be another missed shot for St. Joe's. Amari Campbell couldn't get it to drop, so it'll be South Brunswick on the other end working the ball around. It's going to be Harmahar Chabra working on Anthony Williams. Kicks it over to Shameen Davis, who they will call a travel on after his sidestep. So it'll go right back to St. Joe's. 5:27 now on the clock in the first quarter. Simmon guarded tightly by Downs. Williams now. Back over to Simmon. The drive in from the star player. Campbell over to Williams. Williams, the drive in, no good. That's the second turnover on the day. South Brunswick ball on the fast break. And a quick, wide open layup there for Damian Downs, who couldn't get it to go. Ethan Simmon, great pass over to Tuck, and that bucket is good. St. Joe's takes an early three-point lead over the Vikings. Incredible spin move right there by Damian Downs to make it a 6-5 ball game. It's going to be Josh Ingram now working the ball over to Williams. Anthony Williams had 0 points in their last game. Josh Ingram had 6 points, and he has 3 points in this game. That's a 3 good for Josh Ingram. Yathan Vamula working it over to Shameen Davis. Over to Harmahar Chabra. And they'll count that as a 3 there for Chabra. Ingram now working against the half-court press from Yathan Vamula. Campbell tries to drive in, almost gets Ingram stops in his way, so he takes it back out to the three-point line over to Williams. Guarded by Chabra. The 3 from Campbell is no good. Rebound by Brian Rawls. Downs now. Over to Yathan Vamula. Guarded by Tuck. Now over to Shameen Davis, guarded by Anthony Williams. Davis back over to Vamula. Vamula the drive left. Davis over to Downs. Yathan Vamula, the contested 3, no good. Rebounded by Simmon. 3 minutes now on the clock. St. Joe's with a 9-8 lead. Campbell loses the ball, and they'll call a jump ball in St. Joe's' favor, but still a rough start for the Falcons. Multiple turnovers and a jump ball like we just saw there. I would personally say St. Joe's is the better skilled team, even though South Brunswick is 11-5 on the year with an 8-4 record in the GMC. I feel like St. Joe's' strength of schedule with their 12-4 record is more impressive, especially when they're led by Ethan Simmon, who drains the three for the Falcons, giving them a 12-8 lead. Kalani Antoine gets the pass stolen from Anthony Williams, gets his pass stolen from him on the fast break. Vamula over to Downs. Shot no good from Damian Downs. Joshua Ingram. The Euro step from Ingram and the and one bucket from Ingram. Josh Ingram gets to the rim and now he'll get to the line. Foul on Harmahar Chabra. Team's first. On the line. Ingram, St. Joe's' second leading scorer on the year with 15.7 points per game. This is his second year on varsity. Like I said, he had 6 points last game. Now he has 6 points in this game after that made free throw. St. Joe's up 7, 2 minutes left on the clock, left to go in the first quarter. A nasty crossover right there from Kalani Antoine, drains the three over Ingram. Kalani Antoine for three. Then it's going to be Owen Griffin, the sophomore, driving in. No foul call, but he still gets the bucket to go. So a high scoring first quarter. St. Joe's looking to be on pace for 85 points right now. I know it's not likely, but it's been a very hot quarter for the Falcons, up 6. Teams first. And Kalani Antoine will go to the line, fouled by Amari Campbell. And that's going to be a missed free throw there from Kalani Antoine. But he makes the second. 17-12, St. Joe's leads. Amari Campbell working on Antoine. Josh Ingram finds an opening for a three and it won't go. Rebound by Tuck. Tuck working in. And the pass sails out. Tuck tried to make a difficult pass mid-air after he went up for the bucket, but it wouldn't drop. So Brian Rawls will check off as Shaheem Davis checks back in. Their sixth leading scorer is Davis with 5.5 points per game, had 6 points in their last game against New Brunswick. On Tuesday, South Brunswick got the 73-52 win over New Brunswick. And Harmahar Chabra gets fouled and will go to the line. Fouled by Tuck. Minute 15 now on the clock. St. Joe's leads about the start that they would expect. Coming into this game, they should expect a sizable margin at the end of this game. Maybe about a 12 to 15 point win for the Falcons, but obviously you can't blow them up by too much in the first quarter. So they're up by 4 right now, possibly 3 if Harmahar makes this, and he won't. So 17-13 Falcons lead. Ethan Simmon taking the ball up for St. Joe's. Simmon will get called for a travel, trying to pass it over to Ingram before he took that third step. Wasn't able to do so. South Brunswick ball. It's going to be Yathin Vamula, the two leading scorers. Ethan Simmon guarding him. Vamula putting up 12.8 points per game. That's their leader. He'll kick it over to Kalani Antoine, who was their leading scorer in their last game. 12 points last game. He has 3 in this game. The 3 is good for Kalani Antoine. Owen Griffin now. Griffin trying to go to work. Good pass over to Campbell. Good Euro step by Campbell, and that bucket's good for Amari Campbell. St. Joe's up 3, 28 seconds left to go for the Vikings. So they're going to work the ball around, possibly trying to take the last shot or just find a wide open shot before so. Yathan Vamula once again guarded by Ethan Simmon. This could be a fun matchup all night. 6 seconds left now. An airballed layup. There by Kalani Antoine. Owen Griffin actually will get the rebound and just chuck it up, and it hits off backboard. So that's going to be the end of the first quarter. St. Joe's leads So both teams going to check back on to the court. St. Joseph's lineup. It's going to be Kwame Herod checking into the game for the first time alongside Amari Campbell, Ethan Simmon, Owen Griffin, and Josh Ingram. And for the Vikings, it's going to be Yathan Vamula, Brian Rawls, Shaheem Davis, Kalani Antoine, and Davis is going to work the ball over to Vamula. Yathan Vamula takes it upon himself to put the bucket up. Almost gets an incredible and one. It won't fall. He'll go to the line, however. Shooting 2. Yathan Vamula with 12.8 points per game on the year. Had 10 points in their last game against New Brunswick. This is his 3rd year on varsity, the senior. And the first free throw is no good. Not a huge Falcon flock here tonight, but they're making some various sounds to try and throw them off. Second free throw will fall for Vamula. So it's going to be Owen Griffin down the court. Kwame Herod now driving in. Herod's going to draw the foul. Or he'll actually commit the charge right there. So charge on Kwame Herod. South Brunswick ball, Kalani Antoine with the inbound. St. Joe's running the full press. Herod trying to get revenge here, guarding Davis behind the half-court line. Brian Rawls over to Yathan Vamula. Antoine working it over to the corner. Shaheem Davis going to work on Josh Ingram. Hits the side of the backboard. Good defense there by Josh Ingram. Kwame Herod. Tough bucket, but it goes in for Kwame, giving St. Joe's a 4-point lead here in the second quarter. Rebound by Josh Ingram after a missed layup. Kwame trying to get some more points on the board. Won't go. And almost picked out by Owen Griffin. They'll call a foul on him, however. So it'll remain South Brunswick ball as Khalid Brown will be checking on for Amari Campbell. Khalid Brown barely played last game, but did get one of 2 free throws to fall. So he had 1 point last game, averaging Just about 2.3 points per game on the year. This is his second year on varsity, the junior, Khalid Brown. As South Brunswick inbounds it here. Kalani Antoine. Over to Downs. Back over to Antoine. Tough three over Khalid. No good. Air ball there by Kalani Antoine. Josh Ingram. Disgusting fake there by Ingram. That's going to be poked out by Harmahar Chabra, so it'll remain St. Joe's ball. 6:24 on the clock. You see the score up there, 21-17. St. Joe's leads. Decent lead for the Falcons. Maybe they thought it would be a little bit more. Just about halfway through the second quarter, but nothing to complain about. The lead nonetheless. Josh Ingram, tough pass and a tough catch there for Khalid Brown, but Khalid with the drive in, gets it up and gets it in, and a awful pass, if I might say, by Antoine. He just heaves up the court and it gets easily stolen by Josh Ingram. There was one guy guarded by 3 St. Joe's defenders all the way down there. And Owen Griffin will draw the foul on his drive in on the other end, so he'll head to the line for St. Joe's. 5:45 now on the clock. Owen Griffin has really stepped up for this St. Joe's team, only averaging 3.9 points per game, but that is not his role that he will be playing this year and for the next 2 years to come after this. He'll be that token big man that St. Joe's so desperately needs. Such a skilled team, but height is their main disadvantage in most games. But Owen Griffin plays that big man role exceptionally for the Falcons. And he is only a sophomore, so he has 2 more years to improve and possibly grow for this young St. Joe's team. A couple of seniors on it, but mostly juniors and a couple sophomores, which are Owen Griffin and Davey Caruso, who has yet to see time. He was a starter in the JV game last game, just 25 minutes ago. So I'm sure he's tired. As Owen Griffin fouls Harmahar Chabra, the team's second leading scorer for South Brunswick, and he'll head to the line shooting 2, trying to make this a 5-point lead. First free throw drops, but you can really tell that the small but mighty St. Joe's Falcon flock is really making a difference on these free throws right now. They're shooting just about maybe 55-60% on them. First one will, however, drop for Chabra, and the second one is up and good. So it will be a 5-point lead, and Chabra will be checking off. Ethan Simmon. 5:20 on the clock. St. Joe's up 5. Simmon over to Williams at the top of the key. Anthony Williams. St. Joe's working the ball around, not going to shoot it until they get the perfect shot. And is that it? The mid-range from Ethan Simmon. It might have been heavily contested, but any mid-range from Ethan Simmon is the perfect shot. And it drops for the senior. St. Joe's up 7. 4:40 left to go in the first half. South Brunswick's Damian Downs driving in, blocked by Josh Ingram, rebounded also by Josh Ingram. Ingram with a good pass over to Ethan Simmon. Shot is no good. And an incredible pass over to Yathan Vamula by Kalani Antoine. That's a fast break bucket for Yathan. And Khalid Brown quickly on the other end. He's going to get fouled on his Euro step, so he'll head to the line for 2. Or refs will change his mind. They'll give him an inbound, so they'll call it a blocking foul. Reverse it from a shooting foul. So it'll be Campbell inbounding the ball for the Falcons. Khalid. There's the shooting foul for Khalid. The spin move doesn't work to get him the bucket, but it gets him the foul. He'll go to the line. Now he'll go to the line for 2. Trying to extend this to a 7-point lead. First one is good for Khalid Brown. Khalid, just one of the many juniors on this team that'll be leading this honestly stacked team next year. Second free throw is good. You're gonna have Josh Ingram, Anthony Williams, Khalid Brown. Just a few of the guys on the court right now, not to mention Owen Griffin, David Caruso, just some other guys to name. Another block by Ingram, that's his 3rd on the night. Amari Campbell. The up and under is good for Amari Campbell. South Brunswick gonna try and answer back. Damian Downs. And timeout by the Vikings. 3:41 left to go. St. Joe's leads 30-21. So now I think Coach Jan is really starting to see what he expected coming into this game. 9-point lead, 3:40 left to go in the first half. Trying to get this into the 20s range before I'm sure he'd be happy. Any win against this South Brunswick team that's below 10 is, I wouldn't call it a disappointment, but it's a downgrade from what he's expecting from tonight. But St. Joe's right now on pace for an 18-point win. We'll see what it ends up being at the end of the game. Obviously, both teams get on different momentum shifts. Both teams check back on after the South Brunswick timeout. It's going to be an inbound right under their own basket as Harmahar Chabra gets blocked by Khalid Brown. That's St. Joe's 5th block of the night. St. Joe's ruthless in the post defense right now, and Ethan Simmon is ruthless on the drive. And one for Ethan Simmon.
Loss number 2, Damian Downs, that is his first. Team's 5th.
Simmon is absolutely a relentless shooter, scorer, defender. He's really just the cornerstone of this team, as his one free throw drops, giving St. Joe's the 12-point lead. After that 3-point play, and they're going to call a reach-in foul there on Amari Campbell.
Foul number 3, Amari Campbell, that is his first.
Which will send Harmahar Chabra to the line.
7th.
So, yep, and there is the bonus sign for them on the scoreboard. So, South Brunswick in the bonus for the next 3 minutes and 27 seconds of this first half. See if they could take advantage of it, maybe shave off this lead a little bit. Shot won't be good. They are 1-and-1s. Ethan Simmon with the rebound. Josh Ingram with the size up. Ingram, his 3 can't go. Kalani Antoine tries to answer back right over Ingram, and it won't go either. So Khalid Brown now on the other end. Working on Vamula. Khalid Brown. Pass gets tipped, but still makes it over to Ethan Simmon. Simmon, good pass over to Campbell. Josh Ingram. St. Joe's really waiting for the perfect shot. Is that it by Ethan Simmon? It won't be. Hits off the front of the rim for Simmon on the 3, so it's South Brunswick ball on the other end. Harmahar Chabra, the spin move. Won't go, bounces around for a little while. With the rebound by Williams, who dishes it to Khalid Brown, and Khalid Brown on the other end getting the left-handed bucket. St. Joe's up 14 now. Vamula trying to stop this freight train that is St. Joe's right now. And that ball gets lost, stolen by Josh Ingram. And a foul not called, in my opinion at least. And that foul will be called. Travel on Amari Campbell. 1:58 left to go in this first half. Damian Downs, the team's third leading scorer, 10.7 points per game, had 11 points last game. Second behind Hamahar Chabra, or Kalani Antoine actually, against New Brunswick. The shifty Antoine going to work on Simmon, but he'll pass it over to Chabra, who kicks it over to Vamula. Back over to Chabra. The three for South Brunswick, no good. Rebounded by Williams. 1:25 left to go in the first half. Ethan Simmon working on Vamula. 2 stars for both teams. Simmon lobs it over to Anthony Williams, and Coach Coco Ziolo will call the timeout for St. Joe's, trying to get his 43rd win as a St. Joe's head coach with a 42-17 record currently. Served under former head coach Mike Thompson for 2 years as an assistant before being promoted after Thompson left. And St. Joe's already with more wins than they had last year. Obviously, we're playing a little bit more games, but last year, Falcons went 11-4 on the year, 8-0 in the GMC, and they played in those little pods that GMC had. And the pod that St. Joe's was the top 4 teams in the GMC. It consisted of Colonia, South Brunswick, St. Thomas Aquinas, and St. Joe's. And they came in 3rd place after losing to Colonia in the first round and then beating South Brunswick for the consolation bronze medal. A little bit of revenge on South Brunswick as well, as a couple years ago St. Joe's played them in the actual GMC tournament semifinals that went to double overtime, and South Brunswick got the 11-point win over the Falcons. As Yathan Vamula will get a quick fast break for South Brunswick and get fouled on his layup. St. Joe's up 14, Vamula trying to make it 13.
Team's 8th. Anthony Vamula on the line, shooting 2.
Yeah, the St. Joe was a little bit of a down year last year, like I said, in that officially called the Carl Town / Jay Williams pod play, which is what their pod was named after. Obviously 2 St. Joe's legends right there. Carl Towns currently just got announced as his 3rd All-Star as a Minnesota Timberwolf. And Jay Williams has had a lot of success in the NBA world. Even though he had that motorcycle accident, he's found his way in the studio, being able to talk about sports, talk about the NBA on some big shows. So 2 legends, and that's what the pod play was named after last year. Ethan Simmon for 3 from St. Joe's. The 3 will drop for Simmon. Gives the Falcons a 15-point lead. Yathan Vamula's going to have 10 seconds here, guarded by Josh Ingram. And the pass is muffled by Damian Downs. And it goes out of bounds, so 0.8 on the clock. We'll see what St. Joe's really wants to do. Oh. Ethan Simmon is going to try and heave it midair, running away, and he hits the scoreboard. But it's still up there, and it's still functioning. So St. Joe's is going to be up 38-23 at the end of the first half. Falcons with a And we are back for the second half of St. Joe's versus South Brunswick here in the Maglo Gymnasium. St. Joe's is sporting a 15-point lead over the Vikings here at the start of the third quarter. Trying to extend it just a little bit more with their full starting lineup out there. It's going to be Darren Tuck, Anthony Williams, Josh Ingram, Ethan Simmon, and Amari Campbell for the Falcons. Good pass there from Ethan Simmon. Ingram with the drive in over to Williams. Pass is deflected over to Campbell. And it's going to be a man down for South Brunswick. They're calling over the back foul on Darren Tuck. So South Brunswick will inbound the ball. St. Joe's with the full press on South Brunswick. Up 15 in the third quarter. An interesting decision there by Coach Coco Ziello. See if it pans out for them. And it will. Amari Campbell gets a quick steal for the Falcons and gets a quick bucket. St. Joe's hits 40. Shaheem Davis now over to Downs. Downs over to Vamula. Over to Chabra. Chabra can't get it to go over Williams the first time, but he'll get it that second time. South Brunswick back down to a 15-point deficit. Anthony Williams over to Campbell. Track star Amari Campbell. Pass goes out, gets deflected by Shaheem Davis. It'll remain St. Joe's ball. Just about a minute into this second half. Ingram will toss it over to Ethan Simmon. Simmon over to Williams. Williams, bad pass over to Darren Tuck. As Brian Rawls intercepts it and Williams dives in, they're going to call a reach-in foul on Anthony Williams for the effort. So 2 fouls already in the first minute and 12 seconds of this second half. St. Joe's is going to have to watch that bonus later on in the game. Yathan Vamula over to Chabra. Chabra heaves it over to Downs. Downs drives in. Blocked by Ingram. That's Ingram's 4th block of the night. The three-pointer is airballed. What a pass in from Downs. And a quick layup by Shaheem Davis. The Vikings hit 27. Darren Tuck can't get the first one to go. Wrestles Brian Rawls for the ball afterwards and gets the second one to go. Yathan Vamula. Layup no good. Rebound by Shaheem Davis, who will get a reach-in foul. They're going to call a foul on Amari Campbell there for the reach-in. St. Joe's still up 15. 2 minutes into this third quarter. Vamula pump fakes the 3, takes that shot, blocked by Williams. Campbell, the track star, like I said before, chases it down, but not quick enough. It's a bad pass there by Tuck. Sails it over Campbell's head, and that's going to be South Brunswick ball. Shaheem Davis and Damian Downs working it around. No shot. They're going to call a blocking foul on Josh Ingram. Call that the 4th foul for St. Joe's already early in this third quarter. Surely they're going to get South Brunswick in the bonus sooner or later, and sooner rather than later. Yathan Vamula, 3 for the Vikings. Airballed once again, or off the bottom of the backboard. Darren Tuck will get called for a charging foul as Kalani Antoine falls over after the post up by Darren Tuck. So a reverse charging. Tuck wasn't even facing the basket. but still gets a charging foul, and Kwame Herod will check in for Tuck. St. Joe's still up 15 on the game. They're gonna call an out of bounds on Kalani Antoine. So St. Joe's ball, 5:24 left on the clock. It's been a 15-point lead for a long time now. End of the second quarter and 3 minutes into the third quarter. Ethan Simmon. Working it over to Williams, back over to Simmon. Simmon gets his pass tipped. Great trap defense there by Ethan Simmon and Anthony Williams. And once again, another. They're going to call a blocking foul, even though Simmon looked like he was going up for the shot. That was the second step of 2 for the layup that he made. But it'll be an inbound from Campbell. Quick pass into Williams and a quick bucket by Williams. And Shaheem Davis quickly answers back on the other end. So it was a 17-point lead for just maybe 5 seconds. And it goes right back to a 15-point lead that we've gotten used to for a little while now. Kwame Herod, some shifty moves to get to the basket. St. Joe's back up 17, 46 points in the night. Shaheem Davis gonna try and answer right back, and he will not. Rebound by Chabra, however, and he will. Right back to that 15-point lead. St. Joe's up 46-31 against South Brunswick. 4 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Simmon to Williams, to Ingram. Ingram looks at that deep three, won't take it. Simmon will get called for a travel. Trips over his own field, looked like on that spin move. And it's pretty much impossible to get that ball out of there in time, so travel called on Simmon. Owen Griffin will check in for Anthony Williams. Great steal there by Amari Campbell. Missed open layup by Campbell. And South Brunswick ball. So great defensive play and then a poor offensive play leads them to be right back in the same situation. Another inbound here for South Brunswick. Vamula will take it up for the Vikings. Got a 15-point lead for a very long time now for South Brunswick. Pretty pass there by Vamula. Ball gets knocked out by Griffin, but the refs will say it touched Chabra last. Amari Campbell will also check out for Khalid Brown. He doesn't get too much playing time, but when he does, it seems to make a pretty big impact for the St. Joe's team. Good look there by Griffin. Good shot there by Kwame Herod. And a made three there for St. Joe's. And another quick bucket by Vamula on the other end. A layup for him. Ethan Simmon trying to answer back. And he will. If they don't call a charge, and they will not. So that's an and one for Ethan Simmon. St. Joe's hits 50. 51 to be exact.
Number 10, Ryan Walls, that is his first.
And it's also going to be a timeout from Coach Jan.
There's a 30-second timeout on the floor.
And on the South Brunswick side of coaching, Coach Joe Homan is in his 15th season as South Brunswick's head coach. He was named Central Jersey Coach of the Year 6 years ago. some technical difficulties. He was named Coach of the Year, Central Jersey Coach of the Year 6 years ago, but he has never won a GMC championship. And the last time they won this division, this red division, was in 2006, his very first year as head coach of the Vikings. So been a very long time since success has been seen in South Brunswick in terms of GMC tournaments for basketball. Ethan Simmon drains the free throw. St. Joe's sporting a 19-point lead here with 3 minutes left to go in the third. 11 total minutes left to play in this game. Charging foul. Called on Harmahar Chabra.
Team's third is a player control foul.
So Khalid Brown will inbound it for the Falcons. Kwame Herod. Over to Khalid. Back over to Kwame. Back over to Khalid. Khalid to drive in. Good bucket for Khalid. Like I said before, he doesn't play too often, but when he does, he seems to always be getting buckets and making plays offensively. Missed three there by Antoine. And they'll call a shooting foul on Owen Griffin. St. Joe's 21-point lead right now has to be pretty happy. Coach Cocazilla has to be pretty happy with a lead like this late in the third quarter. And we'll see if he puts some bench players in soon. Still is the third quarter though, so we'll probably see that halfway through the fourth, I would guess. First free throw for Yathan Vamula is no good. Second one is, however, 20-point lead now for St. Joe's, 54-34. Kwame over to Ethan, who kicks it over to an open Caruso, but gets guarded up quickly. Caruso drives in. The mid-range J by Davey Caruso is going to be good.
Davey Caruso.
What a shot there by Caruso. Faked the drive in, pulled up real quick, and took the mid-range. Mid-range also there by Kalani Antoine. That'll be no good for him, however. Kwame Brown driving in, kicks it over to Owen Griffin. Back over to Davey Caruso, an open three there for Caruso. That doesn't drop. So that ball hit off the rim and go right out of bounds, making it South Brunswick ball. And Ethan Simmon will check out for the first time in the past 2 games. Did not check out at all against St. Benedict's, but he will check out here for Anthony Williams, and some great defense there by Kwame Herod. Legally forcing the player out of bounds on the inbounds, making it St. Joe's ball. So Williams on the inbound, 1:32 left to go in this third quarter. Josh Ingram with a one-handed catch. Guarded by Vamula. Josh Ingram, what a pass by Ingram over to Khalid Brown, and the three is good for Khalid Brown. Josh Ingram showing off some playmaking skills, and Khalid Brown showing he makes an impact when he's on the court. Another block for Josh Ingram, that's his 5th on the night. Most blocks he's had all season in one game. Pass there stolen by Caruso. And they'll call a foul on Khalid Brown, shooting foul on Khalid on that fast break shot by Shaheem Davis. By Yathan Vamula, actually, it'll be.
Team 7th. Yathan Vamula on the line, shooting 2.
2 shots. Been rough from the line all game, but he'll hit the first one. And Ethan gets maybe a 25-second break. Maybe they were just giving him some play calls and then getting him back out there. Real quick break there for Ethan Simmon. And he's back in the game for David Caruso. So the lineup for St. Joe is Anthony Williams, Josh Ingram, Ethan Simmon, Khalid Brown, and Kwame Herod. 40 seconds left to go. St. Joe is up 23 on the Vikings. And they're going to call a timeout. Coach Cocoziello saw the trap right in front of him on Ethan Simmon. And he calls a swift timeout to get his star player out of there. So 41.1 on the clock for the Falcons. And I would guess that they're going to start putting those backups in maybe with about five minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. By then, they should have around a mid-20s lead, 26, 27-point lead. I think by then you could pretty much call it. Let the backups play, get them some experience. Guys like Jeremy DeCaro, Christian Magliacano, Dan Balavia, possibly Scott Schmidt. Tim Sullivan as well has seen some minutes this year. So just get some guys like that on the court. They're going to be getting a lot more playing time next year, so might as well show them what it's like this year. Because I'm sure South Brunswick will not be taking out their starting lineup for a very long time. So get them some experience, you know, against some quality players on this 11-4 South Brunswick or 11-5 South Brunswick team. Just to let them know what it's like, because they're going to need to know for next year. Both teams come out of the timeout. Anthony Williams, quick pass in over to Josh Ingram, who kicks it over to Ethan Simmon. Simmon puts up the 3, and why wouldn't it drop? Ethan Simmon gets the 3 for St. Joe's. He's having a night tonight. Had 27 points last game. He might rival that this game. Missed shot, great defense by Kwame Herod. That's what he's known for. Anthony Williams with the rebound. They're going to slow it down. 10 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Ethan Simmon likely going to want to take that last shot. Khalid Brown, no foul call. Missed shot by Khalid. Chabra chucks it up on the other end, but it will not fall for him. So St. Joe's 62-36. Quite a lead they have going right here. A 26 point. So both teams come out of their huddles, getting ready for this fourth quarter. St. Joe's up 26 over the South Brunswick Vikings as we play the final 8 minutes of this game. And this starting lineup for St. Joe's will not see much more playing time. I can't imagine them playing on this court for over half of the quarter. Maybe just a couple minutes. But other than that, Jotham Vamula, mid-range no good. Missed rebound there by South Brunswick. Juggled the ball, couldn't get it. Amari Campbell get the inbound for St. Joe's. feel like a solid goal for St. Joe's is going to be trying to hit 80 points. I feel like if St. Joe's can hit 80 points, they've had about 20 points average per quarter so far, 3 quarters, 62 points. So I feel like hitting 80 points is a good benchmark you can give your team. Tell them that in the huddle, or maybe not tell them that, but just think about it if you're Coach Coco Ziello. That if your team hits 80 points, that you're happy with this night. Obviously, looks like they're going to get a 20, possibly 30-point win on the night. Quick layup there by Brian Rawls is good. Averages 6.5 points per game, had 11 points in their last game. That's tied for second with Harmahar Chhabra in their big win against New Brunswick. But there really are levels to this in the GMC. Oh, great block there by Harmahar Chhabra. Yathan Vamula on the other end, and they're going to call a shooting foul on Ethan Simmon. So Vamula to go to the line, but there really are levels to this in the GMC. You know, you have a team like New Brunswick going against South Brunswick, and South Brunswick wins by 21 against them. But then you have a team like St. Joe's going against South Brunswick, who just won by 21 against a fellow GMC team, and now St. Joe's is up 23 on them, possibly 22. So it just shows you how great of a difference there is between the bottom and top of the league. I could only imagine if St. Joe's played a team like New Brunswick, what that score could possibly look like at the end of the day. But I mean, you really do have those top 4 teams in St. Joe's, St. Thomas Aquinas, Colonia, and Monroe. I'm sure they're going to be battling out for that GMC tournament, GMC title at the end of this. And South Brunswick is a sneaky team in that I know we're seeing them get beat down in this game, but never count out South Brunswick. And right there, Yathan Vamula gets a fast break bucket for the Vikings. Josh Ingram at the top of the key, guarded by Vamula. Timeout by Coach Coco Ziello. This team losing a little bit of that lead. Used to be up 26, that was their biggest lead of the game. Now they're back down to leading by 20. And I don't think it's late enough to take those starters out. Still technically possible, especially if they get some momentum going, which it looks like they could be. So I would definitely keep your starting lineup in the game. Just play safely for the end of this, and then in the final 3 or 4 minutes, you're up by 25, however much it is. That's when you throw those guys in, throw those bench guys in, and call it a day, and call it a W for your team. So 6 minutes and 16 seconds on the clock. St. Joe's really waiting to get this win. Lineup for St. Joe's is still the starting lineup. Amari Campbell, Anthony Williams, Josh Ingram, Ethan Simmon, and Darren Tuck. Ingram, half-court press, guarded by Vamula. Ingram, the drive-in. Good shot there by Ingram, no foul call. But gets the bucket. Josh Ingram really slowed down the prolific scoring, but really stepped up the post defense. His 6th block of the game. And he'll get the assist to Darren Tuck on the other end. Whatever the coaches said in that timeout has been working. Quick bucket on the other end by South Brunswick. Both teams coming out hot after that timeout by St. Joe's. 66-44, 5:30 left to go in the game. Amari Campbell guarded by Vamula. Over to Ethan Simmon. They're going to call a travel on Ethan Simmon. Ethan clearly disagrees with the ref, but looked up at the scoreboard, saw the score, and figured it wasn't worth it for a game like this. So South Brunswick ball. Brian Ross over to Chhabra. Chhabra guarded by Anthony Williams. Some good post moves there by Chhabra on Williams. He'll get the bucket. And Darren Tuck gets an and one bucket for St. Joe's on the other end.
Foul 14, Hunter Harper, that is his third. Team's fifth.
Tuck was holding the back of his head after that, but looks like he's all right. Maybe just caught a swift elbow or something of that sort at the end of that play. So St. Joe's up 69-46. A brick on the three. Josh Ingram. We know he can dunk, but he won't right there. He'll play it safe, get the layup for St. Joe's. Darren Tuck with the rebound after the missed three-pointer once again for South Brunswick. Darren Tuck trying to get a little flashy with the passes there. Unsuccessful, so 4:33 left on the clock. St. Joe's is up 71-46. That is a 27-point lead for the Falcons. So maybe now is when they start putting those bench guys in, like South Brunswick is. It's going to be Downs, guarded by Ingram. Over to Rawls. Vermeulen now been relatively quiet all game, and he'll pass it to Downs. Open mid-range. Ethan Simmon was just kind of shutting off right there. Be a miss there by Downs, rebounded by Simmon. Amari Campbell now kicks it over to Khalid Brown, who had checked in for Anthony Williams earlier. Khalid Brown, that'll be a foul call on Harmahar Chabra, sending Brown to the line.
Foul 14, Hunter Harper, that is his fourth. Team sixth.
And I would argue this is one of Khalid Brown's best games of the season, especially with the minutes he's played. I believe he's at possibly double-digit points already, especially if he makes both these free throws. And he will not. He'll miss the first, but like I said, he's usually that sixth or seventh man, even eighth man sometimes with David Caruso jumping him in the lineup. But when he gets in, he really makes an impact for St. Joe's. Misses both those free throws, though, as I was hyping him up. Chabra over to Vermeulen. Good pump fake there by Vermeulen. The open mid-range. Once again, a missed mid-range. Well, he'll try again. Another missed mid-range by South Brunswick. Downs kicks it over to Chabra. Chabra will try the mid-range. That's going to get blocked by Khalid Brown. 0 for 3 on that possession. And Dan Balavia looks to check in for St. Joe's. And so does Big Scott Schmidt. So St. Joe's putting in their God squad right now of Dan Balavia and Scott Schmidt. Ethan Simmon with the steal. That's going to be out of bounds. Rough pass there by Simmon. So Scott Schmidt and Dan Balavia will check in for Amari Campbell and Josh Ingram. Amari Campbell will also be checking out. So 3 minutes left to go. St. Joe's up 73-46, 27-point lead for the Falcons. Khalid Brown gets a travel called on him. Seems like that's the only thing you could criticize St. Joe's on the night they've had tonight. Just those, maybe about like 5 or 6 travel calls in total on them. Not a huge deal, but if you're going to be nitpicking their performance tonight, maybe you can go after that. Missed 3 there, rebound by Dan Balavia. Dan, the pass over to Tuck. Tuck, another hard foul on Darren Tuck. Back of his head once again. He'll go to the line. St. Joe's inching closer and closer to that 80-point goal I gave them earlier in the third quarter. And they'll get even closer. 74 points for the Falcons. 2:48 on the clock. Tim Sullivan will also look to check in. Most likely for Darren Tuck or Khalid Brown. Probably Darren Tuck, as he is in that starting lineup. The 3 from South Brunswick will drop. And these are a lot of bench players on the court right now for South Brunswick, so I'm just going to refer to them as the whole team or their numbers. Scott Schmidt. Gonna work it over to Dan Belavia. The layup for no good. Scott Schmidt gets up. The putback is no good for Scott. Scott. Oh. Hard. Scott falls to the ground, and Scott Schmidt will go to the line. St. Joseph's in the bonus. Tim Sullivan's going to check in for Darren Tuck. So Scott Schmidt has the opportunity to score his first points of his career on varsity. And he will not. Hits off the front of the rim for Scott Schmidt. It was a 1-and-1. South Brunswick just working the ball around. 1:50 left to go on the clock. Good drive in there. We'll get the Vikings over 50, so a little bit of a benchmark hit for them as they get over 50 in this game. 74-51, St. Joe's leads, 23-point lead they're going to have. Tim Sullivan, layup no good. Khalid Brown gets up and can't get the dunk to go. So close right there. Dan Belavia for three. Air ball by Dan. Jeremy DeCarl will also look to check in for Khalid Brown at the next dead ball. Another three jacked up by South Brunswick. That's going to be good. So the Vikings are mounting a little bit of a comeback here. And Coach Jan will call a no timeout there for Coach Jan. St. Joe's up 18 now on the Vikings. Lost a lot of that lead, but obviously no worries. They're going to keep this same lineup out with 45 seconds left to go, up 18. Scott Schmidt. Scott can't get the dunk to go. Jeremy DeCoro, however, no good. Scott so close to yamming that home. But he will get the good defensive stop. Rebound by DeCaro, 20 seconds left to go. And DeCaro will hold the ball. And the St. Joe's starters were calling for Scott Schmidt to go up for another jam, but he won't get it. So that'll be the game here in the Maglio Gymnasium. St. Joe's puts on a show, scoring 74 points to South Brunswick's 56, and that will be the night.